Welcome to Coffee Commerce. My name is Sean Ramett and I'm the grandson of a coffee farmer from Guyana, South America. On Coffee Commerce, we don't just talk about the stories of coffee and business, but the ideas and how coffee has had an impact on society and how we think. We've been talking about coffee in England. In the 1600s, it was a very difficult time period for the British. Earlier in the century, they had the bubonic plague to deal with, which may have killed as many as 25% of Europe's population. England also had to face a mini ice age, which changed their agriculture and landscape. With the land getting colder, famine and ruined crops became the next great battle that they would have to face. Entire communities were shut down as people migrated from their current towns to other areas in search of food and water supplies. In the midst of this, King Charles I became more demanding on the people for taxation and other control of government. The people rebelled and England fell into a civil war. Out of the Civil War, Oliver Cromwell ruled the land for a time. Charles I was executed. Cromwell's reign would be short-lived and Charles II returned to power. When the monarchy returned to power, things would be different in England. The people were not necessarily convinced that the appointment of a monarchy, again, was entirely divinely inspired. New thoughts and challenges were forming about the future of the monarchy. These thoughts were most prolific in the coffee houses across England. Unlike taverns, which were places for private conversation and private gatherings, coffee houses were public forums. These sparked debate, new thought, new ideas that would be engaging and would be things that the patrons would be starting to discuss in more detail. Charles II and many of the ruling class at the time were concerned about coffee houses and about what was going on in coffee houses and the conversations that would be had in coffee houses. But not just Charles II and those that were in power. By the 1600s, there was the rise of the voice of women. Women played a key role in these various paradigm shifts in English history in the 1600s. Everything from religious beliefs, civil war, and hot topics of the day. Women were not allowed to patronize coffee houses, so they were not necessarily fans of coffee or coffee houses. They felt that the men were leaving their interests behind, and they were more focused on the coffee houses than in being home, spending too much time there rather than with their families. Along came a women's petition against coffee, stating the negative aspects of the drink. Some say it was organized by a women's group that put the petition together. Others say that it was the ruling class who used women, the influence of women of the day, to post the petition. Charles II used this opportunity to try and ban coffee houses. There was a great public outrage. Fearing another revolt, Charles II and the leaders of the day stepped back from their position on coffee houses and allowed them to remain as is. Coffee would continue to play a key role in Western society and even British commerce. But that's another story, probably more than one story, for more than one cup of coffee. Thank you.